Hello guys, welcome to Open Techno. The OSCAL PV800 Pro has just been introduced, a very well-rounded projector with a really competitive price. For me right now, it's the projector that makes the most sense for around 200 to 250 euros. It's a projector that, in short, offers us a lot for very little, and in this video we're going to take a complete look at it. So let's go straight to the features, and then I'll tell you what my impressions are. And let's start by going over some of this projector's main features. This is a projector that gives us a full HD image, that is, with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels. It also has a brightness of 1400 lumens, which will allow us to see the image perfectly even in rooms with ambient light. That means we won't need to be completely in the dark to see the image clearly. It also has a contrast ratio of 4000 to 1. It gives us a projection between 40 and 200 inches depending on the distance to the wall where we project. That means this projector is perfectly suited for rooms at home, if we want to set up a home theater, or if we want to have, for example, a giant screen without losing sharpness. Also, that contrast ratio gives us an image that is less washed out, meaning much more vivid and much more attractive to the eye. We also have a Huawei processor that gives us up to 15% more vivid colors. On the other hand, this processor makes the projector's images move without any lag, meaning very smoothly. On the other hand, one of its strong points is the sound. And that's because we have an 8-watt speaker which gives us perfectly clear sound for watching movies, series, or even our favorite videos on YouTube.
What Mr. Mitsuoka did was take acids, and this was the result. The puggery is made for one thing, yes. And the wheels, yes, thank you.
Meanwhile, Verstappen is leading, then he crosses the finish line. DRS can be used from now on. Remember, there are 3 DRS zones.
The sound is more than enough for a medium-sized room or living room. It also allows us to connect external audio devices such as a soundbar or a surround sound system. Let's discuss the types of content we can watch with this projector. First, it's organized as follows. We have our own operating system that includes several parts. On one hand, as soon as we start the projector, the first thing that will start is Google TV. This is an operating system. It's Android based, letting us install over 10,000 apps. Among them are the famous Netflix, Prime Video, HBO, YouTube, Spotify, and all those typical content viewing apps. On the other hand, we'll be able to watch, for example, sports events on DAZN. Or, for example, we can even control our smart home system and our lights from the projector itself. In the same way, we can also use VPNs to connect to our home network if we're away from home. Or, for example, install some simple games like Asphalt 8 or the classic one where you help a frog cross the river. It does this through, so to speak, a Fire Stick or a Chromecast that's actually built into the projector and is detected as an HDMI input. However, it gives it its own name. And on the other hand, we're going to have an HDMI port in case we want to connect our computer or any other type of device like a PlayStation. Now, the CAL's own operating system. It also has mirroring, which means that our Mac, our iPad, our iPhone, we will be able to cast them directly to the projector. Likewise, also an Android device, for example, as you will see in the shots. This Google TV opens up a world of possibilities for us. However, as I mentioned before, on the back we have HDMI, a jack output for external devices, and of course a USB port in case we want to, for example, watch a documentary or something we have recorded on a device. And since I have the device in my hand, I wanted to tell you about this thing we have here on the front, and what we have here is an autofocus. And this means that we can place the projector anywhere and it will automatically focus. On the other hand, on the bottom we have this little screw that raises the front so we can adjust the projection angle. Then we have a power button on the projector itself, and I still need to tell you about the remote. A remote that, of course, allows us to control the entire device, access the menus, open YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video, or Disney with shortcuts, and control the volume and other things. Also, since it has Google TV integrated, we'll have the option to press this little assistant button and let the Google Assistant, for example, play our favorite movie, our favorite music, or answer questions like what the weather is like today. And hey, let me tell you how it felt to me, because we're also going to talk about the price. The price of this device right now on Amazon is about 240 euros approximately. Now, if we find a cheaper price, we'll leave it in the description. And what are my impressions, or what has my experience with it been like? This projector is one of the projectors that has impressed me the most due to its excellent image quality and very competitive price. On the channel, we've tested other projectors that are much more expensive, and of course they offer us good image quality, good audio. But in this case, with a super competitive price, we're gonna have a real projector that I think is very well balanced, with the ability to watch content in full HD, good audio, and above all, the possibility of having a bright image, an image that doesn't require us to completely lower our blinds or even turn off the ambient lights in the room. Now, I think this projector isn't, for example, for putting it in an office with a lot of light, but rather for creating your own home theater. Home theater to replace a very large TV, or maybe for small meetings in specific cases. So guys, any questions you have about this OSCAL Oscar PV800 Pro, just so you know, as always, you can leave them below in the comments. And if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like. I hope, hey, that the three wise men treat you well and bring you a projector like this. Because honestly, if you enjoy watching series, movies, and so on, having one of these in your home, in your basement, I think it's a great idea. You can't miss out on it if you want a much more immersive experience. That said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.